have chairs? There's 3 chairs, there's only one of me. Okay. I always rearrange the furniture as soon as I come on stage. Because most of the actors sit down because they're lazy bastards, so, and their legs aren't as good as mine. So, yes, I was told recently I have the legs of a 35-year-old. I'm like, you haven't seen them with no clothes on. Okay. No, actually my legs are all right. I haven't got the elephant knees yet. You know, women get the elephant knees when they get older. I don't have them yet, so I'm still wearing mini skirts. I went to get my latest COVID jab recently, and they went, oh, because I'm in the first group, because I'm high risk, and so they're like, I walked in, make sure you tell them you're under 60. And I went, why would I do that? And she goes, because you're under 60. I went, no, I'm not, I'm 68. She went, are you? I went, yeah, I just don't dress appropriately for my age. So, I don't have elephant knees, you're going to get the miniskirts still. So when you stop getting miniskirts, you know why. The elephant knees have caught up. Right then, hello Olympia. Who is actually from London? Oh, see, you've all come a long way. It's like Londoners are rubbish. They really, and I include myself. So you've all come from all over the country and some from overseas. Who's from overseas? Where from?
Bermuda.
Bermuda. Is that America?
No.
Great. People say to me, oh Marina, you lived in America for 35 years. Why did you come back to cold and rainy England? Well, because Trump broke it. Trump broke America. I couldn't live there anymore. It's like, a lot of English people do, obviously, but they're like this. And they're not paying attention to what's going on. If you pay attention to what's going on, you cannot live in America, trust me. So I came back to England, to the wet and the cold, and I couldn't be happier. Because when I go to America, the first thing I do is I turn on the news. And then I'm in a constant state of rage the whole time I'm there. And the people who suffer are my friends. Now, I was never the easiest person to be around in the first place. Since the Orange Menace, as I called him on Twitter, I cannot be there because I'm angry, like I said, all the time. And my 4 friends are like, you're always in such a bad mood when you come to America. And I'm like, oh no, I'm really sorry, so I'm not coming. I'm not coming. If you want to see me, you're going to have to come to England, because I'm not coming. Unless it's for work, I won't go back. I really won't. Actually, Michael Dawn is coming to live in Europe. I know, because it's going to get a bit heavy now, but only for this bit. Because as a black man in America, where a traffic violation could end in death, right? He said he wants to move to Europe because he doesn't want the first thought in his head every morning to be, is this the day I get shot by the police? That's America. Right. Now let's talk Star Trek, because I can, because the strike is over. And we won. We won. Because, you know, the studios would love to make movies without real actors. They'd love it to be all computer generated and AI, because real actors are difficult. We need paying, we need feeding, they need to tell us why we do things. Me, I'll talk for me, because they hate me, because I'm the one who always gets in their face. And they're like, but Marina, aren't you excited to do Picard and play Councillor Troi again? And I said, why? Have you given me something different to do? They hate me. But I don't care. Because I don't have that gene. You know the gene that makes you care about what other people think of you? I don't have that gene. So when I used to get all the hate on Twitter, which I did, a lot of hate because I'm political, My response always was, water off a duck's back. You're not calling me anything my mother hasn't called me already. Right, so let's do some questions. And bearing in mind that I've been doing this, he still left a bloody chair, honestly. Bearing in mind that I've been doing this for 35 years or more, interesting new questions? Yes, love? Hang on, she's coming with a mic. Pay attention to 1.22.
Hello, Marina, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well.
Good to see you again. I've got two questions. First question is, you do the fan forum on Facebook. Are you still active on that at all? Or?
On Facebook? Yeah. I was never on Facebook. Facebook is the devil.
It's the devil.
Mark Zuckerberg is the devil incarnate. We have Facebook and social media to blame for 4 years of Donald Trump in America.
Do you do like a fan forum on online, a fan forum with the Marina?
I don't do Facebook. I don't do anything that is owned by Mark Zuckerberg. So I don't do Facebook, and I don't do Instagram, and I don't do WhatsApp.
Okay. My second question is, who's your greatest inspiration and why, Marina?
Who's my what?
Who's your greatest inspiration and why?
Inspiration. You know, this is going to sound a bit weird. I mean, a lot of the older actresses like Betty Davis and Greta Garbo I looked up to when I was a kid. But because of where I come from, I'm from Tottenham, actually Harringay. Actually, I'm a proper Cockney. I was born in the East End. I'm sure you're surprised. You know, within the sound of the Bow Bells and all that. No working class person from where I grew up in Tottenham became an actor. You aspired to be a secretary when I was a kid. So I had to inspire myself because everyone told me no. Everyone said, no, you'll never be an actress, no, you'll never be successful, no. When I told my mum that I wanted to be an actress, what she heard was I want to be a prostitute, because she was Greek, you know. And so I literally had to do it on my own. And I discovered through life that I'm actually a very strong woman. But that's because I had to fight for everything that I have. I had to fight to be an actor. And then when I got to Hollywood, and then I was an actor here for about 11 years before I went to Hollywood. When I went to Hollywood, I had to fight to keep their filthy hands off me until Me Too came along. And then they put their hands back in their thick pockets. Thank you very much. But it was a very different time, girls, very different time. And people always say to me, well, who was it? You know, why don't you speak out about who abused you? Well, I'm very old, and they're usually older men, and they're all dead now. So what's the point, really? It would just upset the people who had nothing to do with it, which is their families, right? The actual people who did it are dead, so I'm not going to drag their families through the mud. That is also why you're never going to get a book by me. And I have had a very, have to be honest, very eventful and interesting life. But I'm a very private person. You don't really know much about my private life, I'm pretty sure. Because, you know, I'm not the typical Hollywood actor who maybe gets an illness and uses it as a publicity opportunity. I've never understood that. And also, there are people still alive who would be hurt about the things I would say in my book, so there will be no book. So, sorry. Greek patriots twice. There you go. Yes, love.
You mentioned your mother being Greek. How important is your Greek ancestry? Can't say it now.
My Greek ancestry, yeah,
to you.
Actually, when I was young, I hated the fact that I was Greek, because when I went to grammar school in Tottenham, I was the only Greek girl, and my friend Angela was the only black girl in the school in Tottenham. That's changed. So I always felt different. And actually, I'm still friends with Angela. She lives in Germany. And she said to me recently, she goes, do you remember that first day assembly? We used to have assembly back in the old days, young people. We used to sing religious hymns in the morning. Yeah, it was great. I know all the carols off by heart. But she said to me, do you remember she did that first assembly? And I went, no. She went, well, I made a point of sitting next to you. I went, oh, why? She goes, because I looked at you and I went, that poor child is so ugly, I'm going to have to be her friend. I was a very ugly child. I've got pictures to prove it. In fact, I showed a picture to Michael Dawn and he went, well, I recognise your mum and I recognise your brother, but who's the chimpanzee? Friends, eh? Okay, next question. Yes, love, in the pink.
Γεια σου, όμορφη Μαρίνα, σε καλά.
Γεια σου, τι κάνεις?
Γεια σου.
Από πού είσαι? Από πού είσαι?
My Greek is very, very rusty.
Okay,
It's Cyprus, so
okay, all right.
I don't. You're Greece, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cyprus, a little bit different.
No,
but
Greek.
Oh, Greek.
Greek, not Greek Cypriot. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
Greek Cypriot.
Yeah, you're Greek Cypriot. That's all right. I grew up around Greek Cypriot. In double family Scotty. See, when people say to me, how many languages do you speak? I say 4. English, French, Greek, and Cypriot.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because it's almost the same language, but not quite.
Bit rough, but
I grew up in Haringey around Greek Cypriots, so that's my heritage as well. Did you have a question, my darling?
I just wanted to ask, how are you so beautiful?
I never had kids. Each child adds 10 years to your face. This is a no kids space. Because it doesn't matter if you're 80 and they're 60, you still worry about them every day of your life. I just have to worry about Dennis, my dog. Right, so that's my secret. Next question. Yes, love. Here she comes. Run, Forrest, run!
To continue on the Greek thing, as someone who wants to do acting but is slightly worried that people might not see me as fully British, how do you, any tips on getting into the British industry when you might have that doubt that you might be cast as anything but a British?
Don't have doubt. Don't have doubt. You mustn't have doubt. Doubt is negative. You've got to go forward with a positive attitude. You've got to think, even if it's like subconsciously, that you're going to succeed. I went to America. I left. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody in America. Literally. All my friends came to see me off at the airport. My mum is literally hanging on to me because, you know, Greek girls don't leave home. And I was going to a different country, you know, so she's saying, my friends were all crying. I get on the plane and I went, what the hell am I doing? I didn't even realise they'd upgraded me to business class. I was so upset. I cried all the way to America because it dawned on me then that I didn't know anybody. What was I doing? I'd have to start afresh, everything, and literally cried all the way. At one point the airline attendant came up and she went, you're very upset. Would you like to watch the captain fly the plane? Obviously this is before 9/11, right? I went, all right. So off I went, in the cockpit, sat there, you know, watching him fly the plane, until I realised I had been invited up because he was going to ask me out. Right. At which point, I don't know if you know this or not, but on a transatlantic flight, if you're in business class and up, you get scones for tea. And the scones arrived. And I went, sod this, bye, I'm off to eat the scones. So that was my trip to America. You have to just do it. You have to just do it. Now, it's because it costs money to go to drama school now, a lot of money. I got a grant. That doesn't happen anymore. Right, yeah. So you just have to keep doing it. And don't get upset if it doesn't happen when you're really young. Look at Hannah Waddingham. She made it in her 40s, right? She's in her 40s when she did Ted Lasso, and that was when she became a household name. I mean, in the theatre, we all knew who she was because she's a big musical comedy star. But the general public, they had no idea. And I always think back to Coronation Street, back in the old days, with Minnie Caldwell, and what was the other one? Violet Carson, whatever part she played. They were ancient. And they got famous when they were old. They got, well, let's not say famous, successful. Because success and fame are two different things, right? So you just keep going. You do everything. Whatever you're offered, you volunteer, you do whatever you do to get more experience. Because you don't know who's going to be in the audience that one time. Shirley MacLaine was an understudy in Sweet Charity in New York, and the leading lady got sick, and Shirley MacLaine went on for one performance, and in that performance there was a Hollywood producer in the audience, and the rest is history. You just do everything, okay, until you've got, like, I don't do everything because I'm at a different place to you, but you do everything, okay? There you go. Counselling tips from Deanna Troi. Next question.
Hi Marina.
Hello, love.
How have you found the process of auditioning and getting work when compared to living in the US?
Compare what? I didn't hear.
When compared to living in the US?
Well, English people are much, well, I'll say British people are much nicer than American people. All that "have a nice day" is not authentic. They don't mean it. They just say it instead of saying goodbye, right? So they're not as nice as British people. You know what? Let's put it a different way. They're different. They're different. We're not the same. We have a different sense of humour. We speak different. I mean, I spent my whole life in LA going, that was a joke. You know, you have to explain. The biggest difference between living in America and living in London, or living in LA and living in London, is my car's been parked outside my house for 3 weeks because we have great public transport and I have a freedom pass. So why would I pay for anything when I can travel for free on transport, on London transport? And the other thing is, when you get to London, there's nowhere to park. And everywhere in London now, I don't know about the rest of England, is permit parking only, even on the street that you live. In America, it's a car society. So you walk out your house, you get in your car, you drive to wherever you're going, you pull up outside the restaurant, the shop, whatever it is, and there's a fella standing there to park your car. Life in America is much easier than it is here. Much easier. Not a good enough reason though for me to live there, I have to be honest. But if you want an easy life and you're a fascist, it's a great place to live. Next question. Yes, love.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Can I ask, professionally in your career and personally,
Are you an Aussie or a Kiwi?
Australian.
Aussie,
Thank
okay.
you. Yes, you've been.
Did you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would have kicked you out if you'd
And you know what? It became no.
I know it did.
But it's going to be a yes. It's going to happen anyway,
eventually.
which is great. That's
It's
what
so
it should be.
heartbreaking.
It really is, isn't it?
This is what I said. I'll just come back to you in a
Of
second.
course.
I was doing a fundraiser for Joe Biden when I still lived there, and it got a bit, it was a bit weird. But anyway, at one point, what they keep describing America as this beacon on a hill. It's a beacon on a hill, and I went, stop. How can it be a beacon on a hill? This country was founded on the annihilation of one race and the enslavement of another. Really? A beacon on a hill? And they're like, we're never asking her to do anything ever again. Yes, love?
I would just like to know, professionally and personally, is there anything in your career and life that you've not done yet that you want to tackle?
Yes. I would like to do a few more of the classics in the theatre, because that's my true love, is the theatre. And I'd love to play, you know, I've played Ophelia, I've played a few Shakespeare roles at drama school. I'd like to do more Shakespeare, I'd like to do more Chekhov and Ibsen, you know, I'd like to do the classics. Some of the parts I'm too old for now, but, you know, there's a few left. Yeah. Thank you. Nice question. Thank you. Yes, love? She's getting her 10,000 steps in today, isn't she?
Hi.
Hello.
My question is, if you could write and act in an ideal Deanna Troi episode, what would you kind of have done?
In a general way, I would like to have known more about her. I always used to say, we know she's got a crazy mother, and that she's from Beta Z, and that she likes to work out in the ugliest leotards ever known to man. What else? Nothing. We know nothing about her. And I always used to say to them, Wolf is an orphan. He's got more relatives than the rest of us put together. It's ridiculous. So that was what I would have liked to have had, a bit of backstory about Deanna Troi. Yeah, thank you. Yes, love, in the spacesuit.
Hiya.
Hello.
Obviously, with the new series of Picard, we got to see the original Enterprise D. Was it as nostalgic for you going back on that set as it was a fan?
It was. We all got a bit misty. We did get a bit misty. But apparently, when they were showing that scene to other people, grown men cried. Did you cry? Did you get misty? Yeah, you did. Yeah, misty. Yeah. It was kind of emotional to go back. But since doing Picard, I kind of go, you can't ever really go back. You're never going to actually recapture that. It was like, you see, TNG was like lightning in a bottle. It just weird, amazing thing. And I think when I went back, I was expecting too much. I was expecting it to be exactly the same. And of course, how can it be? We're 30 years older. We've changed. I'm walking around like the psycho bitch from hell, so it changed. And bless my friends for putting up with me. That's all I can say. I said to them recently, I know I'm not easy to love. So thank you for loving me. I appreciate you. You have to. I'm horrible. So, next question. Yes, love, in the blue. Oh, well, you first, and then this lady in the lovely blue fairy outfit. Or princess. What are you? What are you? Cinderella. Just in time for panto season.
Hi.
Oh, you look gorgeous.
Thank you. I made the dress myself.
You made it yourself?
Yeah.
You've got too much time on your hands.
Yeah. I was just wondering, have you got any funny memories from filming Picard?
Fond memories of Picard?
Yeah.
No. It was fun. It was fun, but not as much fun. You know the main difference why it wasn't as much fun for me? Funds. I'd look around and all my fellow thespians are and I'm like, I have come all the way from England to be with you, and you're stuck behind your phones like you're 12. Really? Oh, but Marina, I'm like, no buts. Put the flipping phone away and talk. No one talks anymore. Everyone's behind their phones all the time. That's why it wasn't fun for me. Because I don't understand this. I really don't. And I know I'm talking to people who spend half their lives behind a screen, but I don't get it. I really don't get it. I think I worry that we're going to lose communication skills as with each generation. Next question. And don't get me started on you lot not being able to spell a bloody word, honestly. Yes, Howard. Hang on, Howard, there's a microphone coming.
Since you moved back, is there any English programmes you like to watch regularly? The soaps
I'm catching up on all the shows that I missed living in America for 35 years. Don't laugh. Midsummer Murders. Morse. What? Doctors? No. Howard, you know me. I know I'm going to really up. Sci-fi is not my favourite form of entertainment. What, Doctor Who isn't sci-fi? Oh, Doctors! Oh, the soap opera Doctors! No, it's coming off the air next year. My friend was on it last week. Well, she was acting on it the day they found out that they were being cancelled. I know, very upsetting. Now, I do EastEnders and Corrie. Yeah, EastEnders and Corrie. Now, why am I not on EastEnders? Jesus, the accent's real, you know? I don't have to put it on. Yeah, I would love to be on EastEnders, I really would. Actually, do any of you ever go to the theatre? Have you seen Dear England? Isn't it brilliant? I've seen a lot of rubbish since I came back to England, which is shocking. But Dear England is fantastic. And even if you don't like football, it's a good play, isn't it? It's a really good play. So I would suggest I know it's really expensive to go to the theatre, but as an actor, could you just go to the cheapest seats and just go? Because I worry that the West End is going to become like Broadway and there's going to be nothing but musicals. So please, it really worries me that we're going to lose all the plays from the West End. Yes, love?
Hello.
Hello, love.
We all know Captain Picard's catchphrase, so my question is, what would be a catchphrase for Councillor Troi?
What would be?
A catchphrase for...
A catchphrase?
Councillor Troi's
catchphrase. Well, I did have a catchphrase. I had one. I had, Captain, he's hiding something. Last time I said that, and then I refused to ever say it again, old Baldy, oh, excuse me, Sir Old Baldy, said, "We know that, you stupid cow. You waste of space." And then he looked at me and he went and hid behind Brent. So I went over and I said, "Excuse me, Your Majesty." That's what we used to call him, Your Majesty. "Excuse me, Your Majesty. I'm just an actress. I don't write the lines, I just say the lines. And there's no point in you hiding behind Brent's spine because he doesn't really have superhuman strength, you idiot. I could knock him over if I blow on him, Jesus." That's many years on the stands at White Hart Lane, tough as old boots. Yes, my darling. Yes. This is the last question. This is the last question.
Okay, now that the strike's over, what is your next project? Can you talk about it?
I don't have a next project right now. A friend of mine who is a director is looking for a play for me to do in London. Oh, let's look in England. May not be in London. We may go to Nottingham, or we may go to, I don't know, to another city. But the next project will probably be a play. Yeah. So I'm going to go now. Am I doing this again tomorrow? Q&A. Have a look. Because I need to know, because how I close the show depends on whether I'm here tomorrow. No, right then. So, I just want to say before I leave, and I always say this at the end of my talks, I want to say thank you to you. Because the only reason that I have many blessings in my life, and trust me, I have a lovely life, is because you lot turned on your TV sets for 7 years and went to see 3.5 films. Let that sink in. And everything I have, everything I own, I owe to you. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because Star Trek, I know I make jokes about it, but Star Trek has been the biggest blessing of my life. And the reason I have it is because you kept on after season 1. Thank you so much. God bless, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show some love for Marina Sirtis. Thank you so much.